The Sudbury Manitoulin Workforce Partnerships Board is a non-for-profit organization comprised of representatives from a broad cross-section of the community. Funded by the Ministry of Training, Colleges and Universities, the board's main function is to identify local labor market issues in the greater Sudbury Manitoulin district and develop solutions with community partners in order to address these issues. In the greater Sudbury Manitoulin area, there are 8 First Nations communities, 7 of which are located on Manitoulin Island. The goal of the Aboriginal Think Tank session was to create a model that can be used to improve First Nations student success through mentoring, tutoring, school, and community support.
This is a very important session because the intent is greater student success. We're talking elementary school, secondary school, and how can we support their transition to also have success, whether they enter the labor force or go into college or university or even a trade or apprenticeships. So how can we ensure that the supports are there so that they achieve success?
We have a lot of unemployment on the island, except in the summer because of course it's tourism and agriculture, the main sectors that are affluent, I guess you would call it. But there isn't really anywhere for the youth to go. There are no jobs, and unless they move away, and of course parents don't want their kids to move, and we have a lot of young people 16 to 35 staying on the reserves.
We're learning about what opportunities there are to collaborate more, and I think that's what we want to do, is to be able to work with some of the other programs that are not necessarily located in the First Nation communities. Then we can improve the opportunities for the kids to develop lifelong skills that are going to help them be productive and participating within their community.
When we're having this discussion with so many different sectors, when we're looking at health and education, policing, I think all of their feedback is so critical so we can work together collaboratively to identify greater supports for our students. And one of the discussions is career exploration, and that can mean entrepreneurship. How do we develop those small businesses? How do we get our young people to start thinking that? So that does contribute to our economies within our First Nations.
We were really focusing on younger children, but they are the labor market of the future, and we need to start building capacity within those children and those parents to be able to make sure that their kids get an opportunity to go to school and have successful lives. And that means in our country jobs. Looking at what kind of labor market skills are out there is really important, and it's something that the Workforce Partnership Board keeps tabs on.
The Workforce Board collaborated with community partners to conduct a survey about education levels and unemployment of First Nations youth and young adults. The survey concluded that Aboriginal youth could benefit from tutoring support, parental encouragement, access to more jobs, and transportation in order to achieve higher success rates in education and employment.
I think one of the critical issues that we have is we have to retain our students to attain that grade 12 diploma. And when we do have graduates, because we do have graduates in grade 12 and they go on to college and university, we want to ensure that they're able to come back and give back to their communities. And many times that opportunity isn't there. How do we get to the point of developing our economies locally?
Transportation in the Northern Ontario is a big problem anyway, but on Manitoulin Island especially, there is no bus transportation system, so if you don't have a vehicle, you don't go anywhere.
The intergenerational effects of residential school are huge in the communities today, and those things create things like lateral violence, it creates drug and alcohol problems, it creates a lot of the difficulties that youth are experiencing in their home. Like even here today, you heard that a lot of grandmothers are raising their grandchildren. Well, this is a reality in First Nation communities. And so you have grandmothers who are already stretched and have no resources financially to take on their grandchildren, but they're doing it.
I think when we look at the workforce, labor market, development sector, and education, we have to be able to merge them together so that we work complementary. I don't think we can have one without the other, so I think sessions like this, and this is a think tank session that certainly is hosted by the Sudbury Manitoulin Workforce Partnerships Board. We need to be able to have that partnership so that we can all contribute to greater student success for Aboriginal students.
For more information about workforce development projects in the greater Sudbury and Manitoulin area, please contact the Sudbury Manitoulin Workforce Partnerships Board.